Hey, hello friends, I'm Lincoln Wright. Welcome once again to my YouTube channel. Over the past couple of years, I've been very fortunate to be invited onto a couple of podcasts. I'd like to say thank you to the On the Bench folks, the Scale Model podcast, and most recently, Plastic Model Posse. Posse is the important part. And it's been a really wonderful experience. I went from being not very confident to kind of, stammering it out. Plus, my English hadn't picked up in speed yet. I'd just come from living, quarter of a century, 25 plus years in Tokyo. I wasn't used to speaking full belt English like I am now. But 4 years on YouTube, speaking with people in English primarily, again, has really helped me so I can get things out better. So the most recent one was on Posse. And thank you very much, Scott, TJ. You guys are awesome. It was a really, really good show. And I received a great deal of very positive feedback. Like this from Tim.
Yep, another link interview. Morning, friends. When will these folks learn to not let me speak? I recently enjoyed the opportunity to do a deep dive chat with the wonderful folks over at Plastic Posse Podcast. Most impressed with them, very professional, and had done their homework so we could get into some interesting topics. Hope you enjoy it. One of my awesome source supporters then came back with this reply. Tim Chen said, another excellent interview, more insight into the way Link Sensei's style is developed over time and how Koyokama Sensei's style is influenced by Rembrandt. And I responded to Tim, yes, it was a wonderful interview. So happy to have had the opportunity to share these stories and so happy you enjoyed them too. We must have both been online at the same time because we've responded together quite quickly. Tim has then said, yes, I grew up with Japanese mecha hobby, but it's always shrouded behind the curtain on untranslatable Japanese hobby magazines. You have truly opened up for me the culture of Japan hobby. You've bridged the gap of my memories and understanding. It just felt like a time travel listening to you talking about how Japanese hobby world works. Thank you very much, Link Sensei. I've responded, you've made my day, Tim. Reading this makes it worth the effort. With the wonderful feedback coming in from multiple sources for this particular podcast, I'm planning to put this to work with another idea I have had for some time, to add a background story and share, something similar to a podcast, but via my YouTube channel. There we go. I'm a little bit behind the schedule I outlined here, aiming for this coming Friday, my time, coffee with Link Sensei, to cover various behind-the-scenes Japanese mecha hobby stories and culture. I'm quite excited to try it out. And yes, indeed I am. Tim then responded again, thank you, Link Sensei. That sounds wonderful. Your wealth of stories with Hobby Japan and Koyokama-san's world is truly fascinating to just listen to. I practically have all of your podcasts saved on repeat nowadays. Hobby Japan Magazine and SF3D was the portal back to my childhood. Now you've brought them in full translation with decades of stories. Thank you again, Sensei. You're most welcome, Tim.
So based on that really positive feedback, it was very encouraging. I thought, how can I give people more? How can I produce more value for you? I don't have enough bandwidth to do my own podcast. I mean, at least not yet. Never say never, right? I think it could be something that would be really fun, but man, I've just got a really full plate now. I'm working on more publications again now, which is really fun. Working on more models and tutorials for you, like the Mark 44 series. This is going to be a good one. So what can I add for you? So there's a TV show I really like. I'm going to be totally honest, where I ripped off my inspiration from. I love comedians in cars getting coffee. So I thought, how about coffee with Link Sensei? Now, it's tongue-in-cheek. When we meet, please don't call me Sensei. I mean, unless you really like that sort of thing. If you really understand what it means, all good. But it's mostly tongue-in-cheek. That's why I've also used my Japan. If you see me published in Japan, it's lin.k. And back then they called me Link Shi. From now on, they'll probably put either Shi or Sensei, but it will be spelled lin.k. That's kind of my professional stage name in Japan publishing. So I thought, what about I touch on many of the topics? I get a lot of questions, number one. Plus, because I've got this overview of our community that I'm helping to promote, support, and add value to, I see a lot of trends and things happening. I thought this might be a perfect opportunity for me to share content like that adds value to you, but also share stories from the past. I mean, I've actually done a couple in the past that were very well received. There was the how do you pronounce version KA, as well as the bow to your sensei one, where I tell the story of meeting with Koyo Kuyama sensei recently and him bestowing the title of sensei on me. And they were really fun to do as well, and we still kind of talk and laugh about them. So I thought, what about I do a series of YouTube videos for you that you can listen to as if they were a podcast. I mean, I sometimes watch Seth Rogan's podcast on YouTube, so I know this is a viable way to consume podcast style content. I'll assemble them all into a playlist for you, so when you've got time, I mean, it would be time that you would generally listen to a podcast anyway, so maybe while you're working at the bench, because you don't want to look at me. I'll shout out. If there's something I really have to show you, I'll shout it out. Hey, quick, I've got to show you this. And then maybe look up. But so that was just something I added in. It's kind of silly. But otherwise, I intend it to be something you don't really have to watch intently. It's something that you could listen to in the background as you work. I don't want to go too long with them because, you know, you start getting a ramble on. So I'll keep them relatively short and compact, but linking them together into a playlist for you means you could just have it running in the background. That's my concept for this. I hope it adds value to you. I hope it's interesting for you. I hope it's fun. That's the main thing that I want out of it. Now, for ideas, etc., shoot them to me. Like in the comments in this video, just, hey, Link, I really want to know about blah, blah, blah. Tell me about the times that you squeezed down behind the building with the dead cats to not get caught by the police because you needed to go to the toilet. Stuff like that. No, I will not be talking about. That never happened. Never happened. So there's a lot of cool stories there, especially working with Max Watanabe, Koyo Kuyama sensei and the team. Just various things have come out. I've already got a list like that long. And I know that doesn't mean anything when I do this because it's on digital, but it's that long already on topics that I think will be really cool and fun for us to talk about. So hit me up, let me know what you'd like, and please tell me always what you'd like to see next. I'm always happy to see that, read that, and as possible, work it into my content for you. Thank you always for subscribing, liking my videos. Recently, you fine folks have been absolutely on fire. I think one of my recent videos has got like 180 likes and no dislikes yet, which is like a Christmas miracle. Thank you very much for that. I really appreciate it. And I want to give a shout out to the wonderful Paint on Plastic Patreon supporters who just make all of this happen. You fine folks, just you make everything. You make our world happen. Thank you very, very much. I sincerely appreciate you. Thank you. Okay, more soon, guys. Thanks very much. Bye.